Welcome back. This is the next filter along the line. We're going to cover Grayscale. This should be an incredibly fast video. So let's get going. I'm going to hop into Smooth BOV here. I'm going to go to Create New, Filters, Grayscale. This creates a grayscale material, which you can then apply to, oh, whoops, I've got the previous one in here, which is HSV. Apply the grayscale material to my material tooltip and shoot it at my window, which is just a quad, by the way. And now you'll see everything I look at through it is grayscale. That does include things like UI and inspectors here. So you'll see my inspectors now gray. And if I take it out, it's back to the appropriate color. The grayscale material is pretty straightforward unless you want to sort of mess with it a little bit. You can go ahead and change these ratio red, ratio green, and ratio blue values to affect what type of grayscale you're going and how the grayscale is calculated. If I go all the way to the 0 here, you'll see that everything is now dark. If I go all the way to the top here, you'll see it's a much lighter grayscale. This almost looks like comic books. I kind of think like Take On Me kind of thing, you know, that song where they dance around in the comic book. There's also lerp, which will lerp between the filter in effect and the filter not in effect. So you can see here, there's no grayscale, and here there is a grayscale. This gradient, interesting. Let's see what that does. I think a shadow ramp would probably make sense for that. Let's go ahead and go to the inventory. You can find shadow ramps inside Neos Essentials, textures and sprites, and then gradients. And you'll see just some, you know, common stuff here. You can also check the, I believe it's textures and sprites shadow ramps, which has some more varied shadow ramps. So here I've got an image which basically goes from black to white. Let's pop it in the gradient and see what happens. Ooh, that's interesting. Let's drop this down a little bit. So it looks like it's making the gradient apply multiplier to the values that exist there. Let's try a more aggressive gradient. This one's good. Let's try this. That did really weird stuff. So now you can see we've got more sort of a mottled look up there on the on the areas where the color changes here. It's really subtle when you look at it outside of a filter here, but it's lighter up here. There's actually text here. When I found it there, it took me like half an hour to read it. It's something along the lines of like, work for yourself, not the man, or something like that. I can't remember the exact phrase there, but we took the texture into Photoshop and figured it out. Let's play around with these. Oh, there's some really cool visual effects going on here. Again, this is just visual effects. I wanted to just highlight that these materials exist. I haven't seen many people use them that drastically, but they do exist and they are very cool. Let's see what happens when we put a different colored gradient in. So here we've got a, if I can spawn it. No, we'll try this one then. Ah, here we go. This is a gradient which has a red color in it. Let's see what happens here. Oh, everything goes red. Interesting. And then we can take all the red out. All the red in. Ooh, the skybox over there is looking interesting. Again, I don't really know what I'm doing here. I'm just showcasing the material. That is the grayscale material. By default, it just makes everything black and white, which would be good for a vintage film or thing like that. There's actually one more filter I want to try. It's just remembered it, which is this one. It kind of does like a drawn-on effect. I want to see what this looks like on the world. Oh, okay. I did not expect that to happen. That's super weird. I wonder what I look like in that. Let me just set this up. World. Hop around the back here. Ooh. I look all sorts of weird. Interesting. So again here, there's lots of visual effects that you can do that you might not be aware that you could do. I'm just illustrating how they work and that you can do them. I might play with that one in a while. That's really creepy as well. I bet you if I made some of this red as well, I could make the walls look kind of sort of blood-stained or something. Let me increase the red, but decrease everything else. And then decrease the lerp. Or oh, wow, yeah. Super, lots of visual effects you can do there. That looks like it's sort of playing around with the light data a little bit as well. That's really cool. All right, that's it for the grayscale material. We'll go on to the next filter next. I'll see you next time. Bye.